Hi, my name is Jocellin. So I'm 29 years old. I'll be turning 30 very soon. I am South Korean. I was born in South Korea, but when I was 4, my whole family moved to China. So I spent my youth in Tianjin and Beijing. And I think when I was 12, my mom took me and my brother and we went to New Zealand. So I spent my childhood in China and New Zealand, and I studied law in Korea and New Zealand, studied 2 undergraduate studies, and now I'm at LSE doing a master degree in London. I feel extremely lucky that I have such a global background. So as a Korean, I speak Chinese, English, and Korean, mainly because I grew up in China, New Zealand, Korea. These decisions were all mostly decided by my parents. Even in terms of my study, I think it was mainly influenced by my parents' decisions that they wish that the daughter has a good life, a good career, and good social status, and a stable life, I guess. And I am very grateful that they gave me such a wonderful opportunity and good education. However, I also feel that now, right before I'm just about to turn 30, I feel that I should give myself a chance to really live a life that I wish that I wanted to live, and live for myself and really listen to my own voice. So I'm currently studying a master degree at LSE. It's called Media and Communications, and my specialization is called Data and Society. I've always been interested in media, and I thought Data and Society allows me to combine my legal background, especially my interest in human rights, with technological issues. So I really enjoyed my time at LSE, and I think it's because of my choice to actually choose what I want to study, so Data and Society, that actually allowed me to meet the CEO of Elsevier, who actually invited me to be a guest speaker for a mass data management course at Sungkyunkwan University in South Korea. So I have been invited as a guest speaker to talk about the ethical and legal and policy issues around technology commercialization, and I felt very fulfilled after giving the lecture. Because the research regarding technology commercialization, especially in Asian countries, I think is relatively new compared to the research which have been done in US or UK. So I was very fortunate, and I felt very fulfilled that I was able to raise the awareness of data ethics issues among Korean university students.
So Jocellin, as an instructor for our course in data analytics, was very well prepared. I think the key elements there is that she's passionate about the subject, and when one is passionate, one tends to dig in deep into the subject and tends to be very comprehensive. And I think that was very useful for our students. People often ask me what it takes a young person to really become successful, and I point out to number 1, you have to have good health. If you don't have good health, you can't pursue your dreams. Number 2 is you have to have a curiosity. You want to learn and grow from learning. And number 3 is that you have to get along well with people. And I think those 3 things Jocellin has. Jocellin is energetic. She's capable of living in multiple countries, adaptable, and she has so many different interests. She wants to do a million things, and she pursues them with passion. And I think that because she can get along with people who are experts in different areas, she can weave them all in together. I think those are qualities in any young person in today's world, to be able to bridge gaps and create something new, something that is really meaningful to the world.
Well, of course, as an Asian woman entrepreneur in London, I can't say that I wouldn't like that it's easy to actually find your own company. I was very surprised to find that even in London, the majority of the entrepreneur community still consists of male, and especially as someone who who's a newbie in London and who doesn't even come from a business background, finding your own company surely is a challenge for you, especially when you're also doing a master's degree at the same time. So time management and pressure, lots of other issues have all can all come into your life like in many different shapes. However, I also find the community here, the entrepreneur community here, very, very welcoming. Everybody is very friendly, very open-minded. They are always willing to give you some advice. And I feel very fortunate that I was able to meet these people and these friends within the entrepreneur community who are so different from the people that I have met before. And that's why I think what makes me keep going, wanting to be part of this community.
Hey, so I think to be an effective and an impactful entrepreneur, I would say for me the most important thing, which I think a lot of entrepreneurs will focus on, I have a great idea, I have a great market opportunity, I want to make a change. I think it's also important as an entrepreneur that you also have to be an inspirational leader, because in order to create any movement and grow something and get momentum, you need to inspire people around you to also decide, wow, this is great. I not just believe in your business idea, but I also believe in you, because people follow people ultimately. I think ultimately investors, angel investors and VCs, they invest in the people first before the idea. That's been my experience.
So in London, I think London has like the largest Chinatown in Europe. So every time when I go there, I feel like it really cheers me up because, as an Asian, sometimes you do really miss that Asianness, Asian culture, or wanting to, being part of your family. And when I walk down to Chinatown and see all these Chinese restaurants written in Chinese, watching Chinese family having big meals, and sometimes just having Chinese meals really make me happy and make me feel like I'm back to my childhood. So London is one of the largest cities in the world. It's a metropolitan city. It's full of life, culture. But it's also a city that makes you feel sometimes quite overwhelming, and it makes you feel quite lonely sometimes, and that's exactly what happened to me when I first arrived in London. Fortunately, I'm a cellist. I have been playing the cello since I was little in China, and when I came to London, I brought my cello with me, and I think music sometimes leads you to doors that you have never imagined. When I first came to LSE, I set up a Facebook group asking people who want to go to music concerts with me to join me as LSE students. And that's how the conductor of an orchestra in an investment bank found me online. And he asked me, they're forming an orchestra within an investment bank, and it's one of the largest investment banks in the world. And he asked me if I was interested in joining them as an external cellist. And of course, I was very glad that I had this opportunity. And when I went there, I met all these like-minded, wonderful friends. I think they have now become part of my families in London. I don't think without their support, their warmth, their friendship, I could have stayed where I am right now, and I could have reached where I am right now. So I'm extremely, extremely grateful that I was able to meet these talented friends who are also very warm-hearted, kind, caring, and I am very grateful also that I have met music in my life, which led me to meet these people.
I think it's a very brave or a very tough choice that she made, working as a lawyer, being very established, having an established job in New Zealand or in Korea, and then saying, okay, I'm actually gonna quit this job. I'm gonna stop, and I'm gonna do something completely new. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to do communication. I want to do more music. And you know, I think that's something that is not very easy to do. We're all in our jobs, you know, we're very comfortable, we move up the career ladder, and actually saying, wait a minute, I want to do something that I'm passionate about. Let's completely reorient myself. That's something that not many people can do or have the guts to do. And I think that's what she did when coming to London, you know, not only like changing her career, but changing essentially the entire life, right? By moving to a different continent, and I was very impressed by that.
如果你要真的想一群人一起创造一些伟大的东西，那必须用爱去做，没有任何其他途径。就你必须找到你的 passion 是什么，然后倾尽你的全力去做。一个交响乐团是，我觉得是这个世界上最好的例子，就是一群人一起创造一个东西，然后大家都是非常用尽全力，倾尽所有的感情，100%的注意力就集中在这一件事情上面，然后一起去创造一个伟大的艺术。
没有什么不应该，没有 status quo， 没有一个特定的道路。那么每个人有自己的想法，每个人有自己的plan， 然后所以其实你自己最知道你自己想做什么，你自己最知道你自己想走什么样的路。From my point of view 呢，我觉得就我很 lucky， 然后能遇到Jocellin 这样的朋友，因为他就是一个很好的 example。那么怎么是一个很好的 example 呢 ？Jocellin 那从在北京，然后从小长大，然后作为一个 South Korean， 然后又去 New Zealand， 然后放弃自己的主业，which is law， 然后来到这边，然后跨过不同就很多的 time zone， 然后来到这边。然后很艰辛做出这个决定，那么对 Asian 女性来讲呢，这是一个很难达到的这么一个目标，因为呢有太多的peer pressure、society pressure， 然后还有parents 给的 pressure， 然后所以我在这儿想就是表达一种就是说，其实你有 so many possible ways，so many possible choices， 然后你自己是自己的主人。
Sure that there's quite a lot of people out there who happen to be in their jobs just because life has turned that way, but they'd rather have some other aspects of their life very like to sort of nurture other aspects in their life. So Jocellin happened to be one of the people I got in touch with, and she was since the start quite like a very open person, very much wishing to share from the outset like her full personality rather than just wearing a mask as the role would require, which is good because in the end music is all about expressivity and being able to, you know, be yourself to the full extent. And I think that in this perhaps, you know, the music is very interesting from as a general aspect of human beings, of that of, you know, when you want to express yourself fully, you need to be you know, to sort of leave behind any sort of constraints that the society, that the environment, that your work environment tends to put on you. Because when you are at work, you are what your job requires you to be. But when you're doing music, unless you are a very poor artist, you are actually doing, you know, you're actually showing who you are.
I think one thing that I like to share out of my experience in London is that if you're following your passion, you are not going to afraid, because you have this ultimate belief that everything will fall into the right place. Well, at least that's my case. So when I look at the sky in London and when I see those like long white lines that airplanes has gone up, I really do believe that it really reminds me that my potential is limitless, because I'm doing something that's passionate for myself. I'm listening to my own voice. I think that ultimately, I have a strong belief that ultimately everything will fall into right places.